Imagine two people standing side by side with identical incomes, similar jobs, and nearly the same monthly expenses. From the outside, their financial lives appear almost identical, yet one of them has quietly accumulated $100,000 while the other is still struggling to build meaningful savings. What makes this difference interesting is that the number itself is not large enough to provide complete financial freedom, nor is it enough to permanently solve every financial problem. And yet, reaching $100,000 often marks one of the most important psychological and mathematical turning points in personal finance because the way money behaves after that point begins to feel fundamentally different. Most people assume wealth changes life because it allows larger purchases, more comfort, or greater status. While those things can happen, the deeper shift occurs beneath the surface. The first $100,000 represents far more than a balance in an account. It represents years of delayed consumption, repeated financial decisions, and the construction of habits that many people never fully develop. By the time someone reaches that number, they have often learned how to manage impulses, tolerate uncertainty, and think beyond immediate rewards. The money becomes evidence of a process rather than the cause of success itself. This is where financial psychology becomes especially important. Human beings naturally focus on visible rewards and immediate outcomes. Our brains evolved in environments where resources were uncertain and future planning was limited. As a result, spending often feels emotionally rewarding while saving can feel invisible and unrewarding. A purchase creates an instant experience. Savings create a future possibility. One is tangible today, while the other exists only as an abstract promise of flexibility tomorrow. This psychological imbalance makes the early stages of wealth building unusually difficult because the rewards are delayed while the sacrifices are immediate. The challenge becomes even clearer when we look at the math. Imagine someone saving $500 per month. Reaching $100,000 requires far more than a few good decisions. It requires consistency across many years. During the early stages, nearly all growth comes from contributions rather than investment returns. The account grows because money is being added, not because the money itself is producing meaningful growth. This creates a frustrating experience where progress feels slow despite disciplined behavior. As balances increase, however, a subtle change begins to emerge. A 5% annual return on a $5,000 balance produces only a small amount of growth. The same return on a $100,000 balance produces a much larger increase without requiring additional effort. The owner is still making decisions, still saving, and still managing risk, but the capital itself starts contributing in a visible way. This is why many people describe the first $100,000 as feeling different. The money begins participating in its own growth. The broader economic system reinforces this effect. Modern economies tend to reward ownership more than labor over long periods of time. Wages are important because they provide income, but assets have the potential to generate additional value. Businesses reinvest profits. Real estate can produce rent. Investments can compound over time. Individuals who own productive assets are connected to these systems in a different way than individuals who rely exclusively on earned income. The transition is gradual, but the difference becomes increasingly significant as asset balances grow. History provides similar examples. During many periods of economic development, the people who accumulated productive assets often experienced advantages that extended beyond income alone. Ownership created resilience. It provided options during uncertainty and allowed participation in economic growth that others observed but did not directly benefit from. The exact assets changed across centuries, but the underlying principle remained surprisingly consistent. Perhaps the most important shift at $100,000 is not mathematical at all. It is an identity shift. Before reaching the milestone, many people view saving as something they're trying to do. After reaching it, they increasingly view themselves as someone who saves, plans, and accumulates assets. That distinction may sound small, but identity often drives behavior more powerfully than motivation. When financial discipline becomes part of how a person sees themselves, decisions begin to require less willpower and more consistency. This is why $100,000 changes everything. Even though it does not make someone rich, the number is not magical, and it does not guarantee future success. What makes it powerful is that it represents the point where psychology, mathematics, and economic systems begin to align. The habits required to reach it become visible. The effects of compounding become easier to notice, and the individual starts interacting with money in a fundamentally different way. The balance matters, but the transformation behind the balance often matters even more.